In Xhosa or in Zulu, there's one name to it, yeah, you Khokha Moya. Khokha Moya means just stop, take a deep breath, and look what's around you, and appreciate what's around you, and do nothing else. I wish I can say do nothing else, because I'm crazy. I can't sit still. That's why my other name is Nchikeshe, Umpovani, is that black ant that moves around a lot, but it always does something specifically, but it doesn't stop. It just never stops here for me, because there's so much that I want to do and around this place and the people around me that I don't see that as work. I just wish I had more hours in the day. That's Khokha Moya, that's Nchikeshe, this is this place, and that is also Ponderland. Ponderland, Transkei, is Khokha Moya. The Transkei has got a sad story, and actually part of the sad story of it has also in a way saved it. Since the 1800s or late 1900s, not much Europeans or people were interested in the Transkei. But the Transkei was till the early 19th century and maybe right up to about the 1920s, 30s, was actually always what it was, the wild coast. People must never forget that Transkei is tribal land. And tribal land is under the kings of the Xhosa as much as in Zululand will be under the kings of the Zulu. And it is managed by the chiefs and about the headmen in the communities. So I think the modern world sometimes forget that we're only guests here. There's a few, the chief allowed one or two cottages up on the ridge here, but I don't want this. I get a great view, but I wouldn't want to be up there. I'd love to have been a proper, full-blood, born Transkei. In a way, since I think standard 3, standard 4, I used to come to the Kumcha, which is the Kai, near the Kai River, which is on the side of the Transkei. That's where the Transkei actually starts. And we used to come a lot in here and fish, and some small with the Quadines and with everybody. So the Transkei and that part of East London is like the Transkei. So it was from small, in my blood, and always knew in a way that I always wanted to come back here. Now, this is a place that just drew me. That's just been there in me. Fishing is totally in our family. We hold quite a few records in the family together. We are the children of major fishermen. This cottage doesn't have a fishing problem, maybe has a work problem. In a way, we are very set on understanding, even in our hunting world, as much as our fishing world, that there's a balance that you must achieve. And give more and take less from anything. That's our motto. That's that. Like a fresh Dorado, the real best fish of the sea. This one we're doing, it's nice and fresh, nice fish. Let's see this thing. So it's fin. It's nice, the fin's nice and up. It's still got a nice color in it. And it hasn't got warm, it's nice and cool still. Beautiful. Let me fillet this. Okay, now I'm going to take the top fillet off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the skin on. It's got fine little scabs on it. I'm going to keep that on because I'm going to do this on the coals, this fillet, with the skin downwards, which means the skin acts like a foil and a protection that I don't dry out the fish. And that's important when you're doing fish on the coals. The bottom part, which I'll show you now, I'm going to cold smoke. So first going to make an incision here. Right, and we start on the top here. There we go, follow the back all along. Very nice. Right up here where the thick fillet is. Right to the top there. Okay, and then follow this fillet here, right at the back here. It's nice and tough here, the skin. And we come to the back, take it out here. Right, and then I do incision here. Right, that's where the rest of the fillet sits. And now I swing it around so I can work this side of her. Right, so I'm coming here. Putting coarse salt on. The reason for that, it draws out the moist out of the fish, because this one is the one that we're going to smoke, cold smoke. And when you cold smoke a fish, you don't want it to be wet. But now I have to hang up to get her to to throw some more water away. And she's tough in the jaw. And now comes the one. Right. Right. There we go. There she goes. Right. Man. There's a thing I call Ponderland fever. It takes you about 2 days for those new people that come here to feel it, but on the third day, Ponderland fever sets in, and that is when an hour slows down. It just slows down. The day slows down, the time slows down, and you find yourself just getting more out of 9 hours. The whole area, the simplicity of it, and the quietness of it, and the serenity you've got to it, just slows down your clock, your city clock, your corporate clock. It does. If you like it or not, it does that. This is the cold smoker that I made. It's an outdoor smoker, practical, proper Transkei smoker made out of spare parts and everything that's available. What I do over, I make a fire at the bottom there. Once I've got a small fire going, I then dip into my oak, proper oak pieces that I put in the water here. These oaks, I take them, I put them on the hot little fire, and then it starts smoking, and then I close her. And then I start determining how much smoke is coming out of her and how I'm controlling the smoking of my fish. I then put my fish in to start the cold smoking process, which will likely take 2 or 3 hours. Zo'n duif, hè? What's happened is a lot of plastic that is broken up, coming off the ships when they open their ballast and stuff, has broken into small pieces. Nobody ever thought that plastic can break up and degrade, because they thought it's a non-destroyable thing. And it's broken up into small pieces, and glass and all this. Look at just in one little scratch what we're getting at. And this ends up in the water, and the fish sees it, and the smallest of fish sees it as food. grew up as not a very rich boy, if you could say that, and I had this one big dream that I must be a success. I became a big financial success in a way, and I did very well in my business and had airplanes and everything else and great parts and businesses, and lost it and made it again and lost it. But after 25 and 30 years in the corporate world and everything, I realized after all of this that I still had a hell of a big hole this big inside myself. And not all the money and all the businesses and all the titles that I've achieved in sport and everything else that could fill that hole. And then I just realized that I had a bypass and broken a few other things. And I just realized at one stage that the place where I've always been the most happiest and my soul has been the most calmed down is Ponderland in the Transkei. Yeah, in the Transkei, that's how the Transkei, you live day by day, week for every day you're fortunate, you're happy for. I am 100% believe in the Xhosa way, the Mapondo way, the way you must live, and I want to be buried the exact same way. Therefore, I hope, if I had that choice, that I could die here, be on the river or sitting on the rocks fishing or just walking my garden or playing with the community and in front of the people that knows me. And not in a city somewhere in a car or in my bed there or something like that. But even so, I don't want to be in whatever place, in a fridge or whatever they call it, for longer than a day or two. Then they have to bring me here to Transkei, the way they do with any other Transkeian, hand me to the women of the community and prepare me for my funeral and prepare everything exactly the same, the cows that must be slaughtered, everything else that must be done. But the difference is because I'd love to say, I'm just a white Transkei. I must have the respect of not being buried lying down like any full-blooded Transkei, and I'm jealous about it. My grave has been arranged right next to my cottage, next to the lady who I'm renting here from the ground. And it's funny that we talk about graves, but when you get to my stage of the life, then you have to. My hole must be dug exactly like in this chair that I sit. Straight down in a sitting position and always facing the ocean. When the sun comes up in the day, I want to see it on my face. And when it goes down behind me, it doesn't matter because I don't mind where it's going to. I just want to make sure I want to see the next one coming up again.